Here we go. We are live and it is not 9 a.m. I know this. So if you're like, where were you this morning? I was here. I was actually helping a client with this exact topic of sales starting with self-trust. Sales starting with self-trust, which I apologize because if you look at I don't know, the Canva clips that I share. Last week, I was talking more about respecting money, reciprocity with money, changing your relationship with money, taking your power back from money. And that is not what the image was saying. But hopefully, you're in for a great surprise. If you missed that, go check it out. It was last week's podcast. And so, welcome. This is Courageous and Free with Jacqueline Mack. This is recorded live on LinkedIn and YouTube. And it's also on all the podcast syndication platforms, you name it, it's out there. Not live, but it does get up there within a few days, if not within 24 hours. So today we are talking about sales starts with trust, why the deal is done before the pitch. But even before we get on a call with someone, do you trust yourself? Do you trust your offer? Do you trust the positioning? Do you trust that the solution you provide, hands down, without a shadow of a doubt, helps people with their problems and obviously gets them a result they deserve, but more importantly, they desire, which is why they came to you in the first place, because that's number one. And then, do you trust the process? Like real faith, real trust, and a divine source that's bigger than us, that breathes us every day. Like if I tried to hold my breath right now and I pass out, most likely would start breathing again. There is a higher power that would cause me to breathe again. Like no matter how much I think I'm in control, I remind myself of this because we are in control of our thoughts, our beliefs, what triggers us, our feelings, right? And how we respond to the world. But that's it. If you really boil it down, we can only truly control our thoughts, which if repeated over and over, our beliefs. So I'm going to categorize that as one, our thoughts, and how we respond. And how many of us are being responsible with how we respond? Or are we just reacting? Are we panicking versus pausing? Which I just came up with a whole process for that. That's super simple, takes less than 30 seconds. What pause stands for: being present, assessing, uniting with the high self, then you're grounding in yourself, and then you're taking and executing in energy and alignment, right? So there's so much here besides just going out to get the sale, to get the money, because you can create 200K months, 50K months, 10K months all day, every day. But at the cost of what? If we are hustling and grinding, and we're not trusting ourselves or the process, right? So the deal is done before the pitch. The deal is done before you get on the call. It's expecting but detaching from the death grip of the result. Expecting the sale but detaching of the death grip of the result. And we're going to get into some things today about that. So glad you're here. Many of my clients, whether they're just starting out in the coaching world or the consulting world or their own business, but most clients, when they come into my world and I'm coaching them, which is my favorite thing to do, I love, gives them high leverage, low lift for me, creates time freedom, money freedom for us all. And most importantly, I get the most out of my coaching relationship when my clients win, because what we do together impacts more lives. Like I can build a coaching business and only make 20K a month, or only make 30K a month, or only make 5K a month. Like I'm being real with this. And at the end of the day, when my clients are doing 50, 100K, 200K, $500,000 months, I felt like I win the jackpot, because indirectly, but yet directly, that many more lives were impacted. So like I said, most people, when they're coming into my coaching containers or they're already into the deep work with me, hit a point where self-sabotage or imposter syndrome creeps in. This is why when you have the tools to manage self-sabotage and imposter syndrome, it's a requirement, by the way, if you're an entrepreneur or in the coach space, because it's not if it's going to pop up, it's when it's going to pop up, because it will. It's not like a check the box one and done. I've overcame my self-sabotage. I've overcome my imposter syndrome. No, it will shout from the mountaintops, the bigger the leaps you're trying to take, right? So it's not a beginner issue. It shows up as you grow, as you evolve, as you expand. That's why self-trust isn't just personal work. It's in your sales work. So if you're like, oh, I trust myself, and then you're going out and you're trying to do sales and you're not closing deals, this is why, especially if you want to scale sustainably. Sustainably is like forever, keep that momentum forever and confidently, right? So let's be real though. The thought of who am I to help this person will come up if it hasn't come up already, right? It even pops up for me to this day. But the truth is, who are you not to help them? That's the better quality question. And if you've been in my world long enough, you know I'm all about asking quality questions. Connect and convert. Ask the quality questions. You can't mess it up if you're asking the quality questions. If you don't know what those quality questions are, come over to my world. I will give them to you for free, literally. And then I want you to go shout for the mountaintops like, oh my gosh, it was that simple and it worked. But don't do that if you don't have the self-trust in place. That's like trying a strategy on and having the biggest elephant in the room, and you're trying to get to the other side, and you literally can't blast through the elephant without working through the strategy on this first. So if you're relying on perfect scripts or pressuring tactics to close those sales, this episode will flip your approach for good. So clients buy, again, belief. Clients buy belief. And your self-trust is what makes your offer magnetic. When you stand in conviction, grounded and clear, pure energy is contagious, right? Conviction, grounded, clear energy is contagious. But guess what else is contagious? Panic, frustration, fear, doubt, uncertainty. It's contagious too. So that's when high integrity sales happens. That's when helping someone say yes or no becomes powerful. When you have this piece dialed in, it's also way less exhausting. So who's ready for this today? I think we're going to cover 3, maybe 4 points here. Number 1 is clients buy belief. Your conviction is contagious. You are the expert. Your job is to lead, not to chase. When you show up with self-trust, curiosity, clear offer, that's when breakthroughs happen, even before money is exchanged. And if you want a resource for this, my favorite is the 4 agreements. This is the one I go back to and lead from every day because it has to do with the 4 agreements. I say happy in order to be happy at work, happy in my personal life, happy as a general good human being, solid in my values. The H is for honoring your word, right? Be impeccable with that. And when you change your mind, honor your word. It really is that simple. Don't have to over justify here. Make no assumptions. That's the A. HA. Honor your word. Make no assumptions. When you're starting to assume, because we're meaning making machines, start asking the best next quality question to clarify and make sure you're not assuming and it's what's actually happening. I don't want to say it's fact because sometimes people make limiting beliefs fact and they're not actually true. And then the P is don't take anything personally. This is hard for my people pleasers, but I'm telling you, it's great. And a great book for not taking things personally is Let Them by Mel Robbins. If you haven't read the book, just go read it and free yourself from all the extra pressure. Let them, let them, let them. Mel Robbins, go check it out. And you can immediately stop taking things so personally and also let go of the things that are out of your control. Last one is happy, right? HAP, take things personally. B, do, have. Be, do, have. You be first. You be happy. You be rich. You be authentic. You be in bliss. You be in love. Then you do. Then you have more of what you want to feel. Well, I want to feel more happiness. How can I start out with happy to get more happiness? Trust the freaking process. And I'll explain that more in another podcast episode. But for now, the B part is being a little bit better. And in the book, The 4 Agreements, it'll say, do your best. I've taken this to the next level because I know what works for my high performing clients because of the pressures they put on themselves. So it's always being a little bit better, not the best. Let go of the pressure to constantly be the best. Just commit to growing and showing up better than the day before, and the next call, and the next hour. not just for your clients, but for yourself and for your family and for your loved ones, and watch how rich those experiences become. This is what builds momentum without burnout. Also, my recovering people pleasers and my control freaks, listen up. Like I said before, if you want to let go of taking things personally, if you want to not assume so much, if you want to be impeccable with your word, but again, letting go of the things that are out of your control, go grab that book, Let Them by Mel Robbins. This is a book I'm actually listening to again this month. It's pure freedom to what you've been giving your power away to: people, circumstances, situations, money, and letting go of trying to control every single outcome. Having that death grip blocks you from the result and or something better. So again, if you've ever assumed anything about a prospect, a sales call, or your performance, and have been like totally wrong, right? That's why I teach the curiosity piece as actual structure to the strategy of the real sales processes that work. When you ask clarifying questions, you stay open. You're curious instead of certain, and that's where the connection is created. Even when you are certain and they are not connecting at that level of your certainty, pull it back and start to be curious and ask why they're seeing it that way. Help them have a shift in their perception. This is what will release all objection. And most people are like, no, I got to learn how to objection handle. Yes, shifting perception is objection handling, but it's done in a much more strategic and graceful way. And it doesn't feel icky, slimy, or pressury. Second topic I want to bring up today is shifting the dynamic as looking at sales as a service. So half of my clients come to me hating sales. They literally say that, like, I hate sales. I don't like it. I have to learn it. And then I want to hire someone immediately. Why? Because they've been on the receiving end of pushy, slimy tactics. They haven't been taught how to create a casual conversation and turning it into an impactful, powerful conversion without it exhausting them. And nobody wants to what? Go out to get people either. And nobody likes to feel gotten. Like, and if you are one of those people, you're probably not my people, right? So if you know your solution can truly help someone, how could you not offer it? How could you not give them the chance to say yes or no and help them say yes or no without regretting it? So here's the reframe. Sales isn't about being pushy. Sales is about being of service with clarity, confidence, and care. So your relationship with sales matters. How do you define sales? What does it feel like to you? It's like the word discipline. If you're like, oh, I can't do that, go look at the word discipline. Don't look it up. Just like say the word, write it down. What does that mean to you? Some people will say it means lack. It means I can't have certain things. It means it's restrictive. Okay, sure. That's your perspective that you're looking through the lens of discipline. How I see discipline and how I know that word supports me, it means freedom. It means when I do the things I'm disciplined in doing, I get the results I desire and I deserve, whether it's with my health, my relationships, my sales, my business. Like discipline is freedom. Discipline means results for me. Discipline means success and fulfillment. So if you're having trouble with that, go back and look at that. If it feels heavy or negative and you're trying to avoid it, it's just time to redefine it. It doesn't matter if the word sales, it doesn't matter if the word discipline. That's where you get to get curious and ask the next best quality question for yourself. This is going to build deeper self-trust within yourself because you're going to be certain with who you are and how you be when you show up for those that matter in your life. And yes, I'm talking about your clients. And yes, I'm talking about your personal life too. So when you redefine it, no matter what, this should somewhat be related to your success and your freedom. And if it's not, DM me, I'll help you with this. This is what we do in the Rise Up coaching program, right? Because sales doesn't have to feel like a trap. It really can feel like truth. So one client was actually debating whether or not to test her 15K concierge package, right? This is while she's been offering an 8K package for over a year now, doing anywhere from 70 to 120 something K months, very well on her own. And we're building out our sales team. And right before we started hiring people, I coached her a little bit about how it's a serving, not a selling. And we get to do this. We don't have to do this, right? And in less than 1 week, she closed her first 15K client with zero pressure, just clarity and belief. No attachment to the outcome. She didn't even realize she was going to offer it until she got towards the part of the call where it makes sense to say, based on what you share with me, I think this would be the best fit. What do you think? Boom, done, right? Then I had another client, Tyler. Zero sales experience. Zero high ticket sales experience. Last summer, we started working together. Fast forward to the spring, he just had his first of many 30K commission months. He's been the top closer for a leading weight loss company for now, I think it's the last 6 months or more. And he's probably going to be like, Jackie, it's been 8. Okay. Sorry. 8 months, 6 months, somewhere around there. He credits this to what we've practiced. Ask better questions, ditch the script, believe in the buyer, and serve with empathy and truth. That combo builds trust, and trust closes. All right, I could go on in that one because everybody's like, how are you doing it? And they try to mimic his calls. Even at the company, people are like, Tyler's doing great. Well, because he puts in the reps. He still gets no's, but when he's closing at a 50% plus closing rate and he's bringing in 30K commissions, that's called a professional, right? It just doesn't happen overnight. He's literally putting in the reps like he does to build his bicep. He's putting in the reps to build his professional side in his sales skills and his listening skills and his quality question and his checking in on the active listening and the offer and the perception shift versus overcoming objections, right? Number 3, breakthroughs before payment. So I call this breakthroughs before they pay you. Your job isn't to convince. And if you ever slide into that slippery slope, be very, very careful. There's a fine line between conviction and convincing. Your job is to guide. When you fully trust yourself and your offer, clients feel that as calm confidence. It's magnetized. It's attractive. That's what sells, not the hype, not the pressure. Help them have that breakthrough before, like I said, they ever swipe that card. That's how you become the trusted expert. And when you're the person, the one who brings the clarity, not the confusion, the certainty, not the doubt, you win clients for life. And it's not just a quick sale. And then you create raving fans. There's another great book, Raving Fans. Who wouldn't want raving fans? Who would want their referral business to be higher every month, if not matching what they bring in with cold lead revenue? It all starts with the trust of yourself first. So with all that to say, self-trust is the sales strategy that has to be worked on first. It has to be the mental muscle that we build upon first. When so many people come in and they're like, I want to make a deal. I want to close the deal. I need to make my first sale. Great. Yes, you deserve that. But if we don't have these pieces dialed in around your conviction, around super clear offer stack and your positioning in that and how you're wording it and how you talk about it, because if you don't believe in it and you're just pitching another beautiful slide deck, people can see right through that nowadays. Buyers have never been more savvier than ever these days, right? So because the truth is, when you're clear and you're convicted and you're calm, your offers become magnetic. How could they not, right? And when you guide with real authority and let go of the ego, you don't just close more, you serve at a deeper level, you build those relationships that last, and you finally enjoy sales again because you're just helping people. There's no getting. It's this or something better. You're expecting the sale, but you're detached from the outcome and you don't make it mean anything. So if you're wanting help with any of this, I do have sprints running all the time. I have my momentum sprint. I have my ORI sprint. I have a group I'm starting probably in August. We'll have to see. Once the group gets to 3 or more people, we will launch it. This is something I just came up with today, and this is the very first time I'm talking about it. And it's going to be a 3-month group. And then from there, we're going to see if we want to like keep it tight at around 7 to 11 people. I'm going to let the group to decide when we want to close the doors. It's not up to me. And we're going to meet on a regular basis. We're going to do live call reviews. I'm going to do other call reviews individually and send those recordings back to you. You're going to have access to all of sales codes, money codes, the Rise Up course for a lifetime. And the investment is a no-brainer investment. Not sure how long I will let this run, but I am excited about the first group, and I'm going to start to see what else we're going to add to it. It's going to be based on what the group members want, and I'll add some things to it, and then we'll get it rocking and rolling. Otherwise, I will see you on my workshops that I still lead on Thursday. And if you're not in on one of those, it's Sales Momentum to Mastery, and there's laser coaching, there's networking. I cap that at 10 people as well. And I look forward to serving you all and talking